Alright guys, back here with another video. This is a compilation between KSI as well as Logan Paul. There's a little bit of Jake Paul in this video because he is training with his brother. But most of it is about KSI as well as Logan Paul. Now, in this beginning of this video, you'll see here that they are using a power station, which reads your power of your punches, and I believe it's called Newtons. A lot of the top fighters out there, that are some of the really big boxers that are over like 220, 230 pounds, can hit around 100 to 120,000 on this machine. A lot of fighters that are like 150 to 200, I've seen hit anywhere between 30 to 60,000 on this machine. And in these clips that are coming up here, you'll see that KSI does around 40,000 on average on his punches. So I'll roll the first clip. Later on in the video, it will be going over a little bit of clips of Logan Paul throwing some punches. Obviously, he hasn't done anything with the power station, so there's no actual stats here. But of course, visually, sometimes you can see how hard someone's punch is. So I'll roll the first clip here. And you can just see the snap in those punches too. Not just powerful, but he's quick.
38, alright. 33. There you go. I mean, I was going to tell you to stop the tapping. You don't stop. You just keep getting higher.
He's taking it serious. I mean, he's taking it serious. He's at a UFC gym. Again, a little bit over 40,000, which is really good.
Yeah, two in the 40s, but those kind of outliers. So your average was between 30 and 35. This is enough power to knock somebody up. Catch the knife. Guys. Alright. You were able to get 10,000 at 0.33 seconds. So a third of a second, you're able to generate 10,000. That's good. Oh, sick. That's actually pretty good.
So I put this clip in here because the next clip that you'll see, it does have Jake Paul throwing his punches in comparison. Obviously, this isn't on any kind of machine that reads anything, but you can see that Jake Paul just doesn't have any form as well as any power whatsoever. But yeah, the next clips are going to be specifically with Logan Paul as well as Jake Paul. So you could tell they need to amp him up to kind of, just over-exaggerate it.
So really, like, for real. Okay. Don't do that.
Alright, so that's the end of the video there. My opinions on this fight is that, honestly, when it comes to Logan Paul versus KSI, I do think that KSI is taking a lot more serious and has a lot more skill. And I do think that you know, that is a huge factor. I mean, he's going out of his way to train with the best of the best when it comes to UFC, and he does have a good boxing coach. But Logan Paul does have a lot of one-on-one, you know, wrestling, and he's been doing that for a long time. He is actually an athlete, even though he hasn't done boxing. Overall, he is an athlete, and that is a huge factor because I've watched other of his clips, and he has way better reflexes. Even if he can't throw a better punch, having reflexes is a huge, huge factor. And just being an athlete in general is a huge factor when it comes to, you know, actually winning a fight or just, you know, performing. And same thing when it comes to stamina. You know what I mean? Stamina is a huge factor if you're going to win a fight or not. And I do believe that Logan Paul is going to have that. Another thing too is even though I don't like Logan Paul, I do think that he's a tougher opponent. And even if he's not a better fighter, if you have another person that's a better fighter than you, like when it comes to skill, but only when it comes to being like on a bag or something like that, that can cause a lot of issues because if most of the fight they're just curling up because they don't want to take hits, if you're willing to go in and hit them, that's all you need to do. You don't need to be throwing good punches. If someone is pretty much being a punching bag for you, you can win a fight. I think that is a really big possibility. But if KSI pretty much mans up, I really think that he can win this fight. And I hope he does because I have a lot more respect for him than I do the Paul brothers, honestly. Now, when it comes to Deji as well as Jake, I don't think either of them are taking the fight serious. Yes, Jake is around his brother, so he may be getting professional training. But Deji, you know, he's in one of his most recent videos, he's talked about how he's just training at home by himself. He's not training with anybody. He doesn't go to any kind of gym whatsoever, and he doesn't have a coach at all. And yeah, that's a huge disadvantage for him. And I mean, I do think that he has a lot more heart, and it's a lot more serious to him than Jake, because of course Jake can just go back to what he's already doing with his channel. And Jake has a lot more support, even though I don't really think a lot of his friends are real friends. Deji's biggest thing is that nobody is supporting him right now, and I think that he does want to prove a lot of people wrong. And having drive and wanting to do something because you're trying to prove yourself is a huge thing. I mean, myself, I love to box. I love MMA. I've done a lot more MMA than I've done boxing. I've done about a year of boxing, but about 3-4 years of anything from judo, so on and so forth. But when you have drive, it really makes you unstoppable. I mean, I've been in a lot of fights in my life, and against a lot of people that have had more training than me, but it's like fight or flight. And with me, it is all about fight, and I do see that in Deji, so I do hope that he wins. But we'll see here in a few weeks on August 25th. So that's the end of the video for you guys, and you guys take care and enjoy the rest of your day.